Hello everyone, Hamis28 here, and today we're still trapped in the world of compact claustrophobia. So, I never like making actual progress when I'm not recording, so I only spent a lot of time improving our supply chain and production. For example, if we come into this compact machine over here, I've fully automated our production of sewage. So I hooked up these garden cloches that are growing pumpkins to this sawmill that will then saw 4 pumpkins into pulped biomass, and then pump it into this sequential fabricator to make a pulped bio blend. Now I do have to still empty this of pumpkin seeds every once in a while. Then that pulped bio blend gets sent to the fluid transposer where it combines with sewage to make poop. The poop is then clicked into a stone barrel connected to this infinite water source, and sewage is made and pumped out into this tank. This was really important that I had to set up because I was thinking about next steps, and making more glitch machines required that we fill this guy up with a lot of sewage. And even this big signalum tank got completely full. But I think that should still be a lot, because if you divide this by 1,000, that's 256, which I think is the same in here. Yeah, so this signalum tank has more sewage than this can hold anyway. I did that. If you take a look at our power, it kind of fluctuates randomly between like 10,000 and 100,000 because I finally got the fusion reactor to actually run. I added some Californium RTGs that I was able to craft thanks to our fission reactor setup. And I found that I guess the issue with the fusion core was that if you use cryo-stabilized flux ducts to power everything, I'm kind of talking from a place of no experience, but the cryo-stabilized flux ducts don't store any power themselves. They only transmit an infinite amount, which I'm guessing the issue was the fusion electromagnets would request power from the cryo-stabilized flux ducts, get it, but then they wouldn't request more power in time for them to actually stay on. So after I replaced all of them with the resonant flux ducts, it seems to actually stay on, as you can see here. It is cooling down though, which is odd. It should not be cooling down. Uh-oh. Okay, luckily we can breathe through this. I'm gonna have to replace that. So why are you guys cooling down? You shouldn't be cooling down. That's very odd. Oh wait, no, there it goes. It's heating back up. Yeah, I don't know. It's very funky. I don't know why it operates like that. It's really odd. But now that it actually works, we can use this to make our glowstone. So in order to actually make glowstone, as you can see, because it goes from the fusion reactor to the neutron irradiator to hot stuff. And if you're like me and you didn't even know how to actually use the fusion reactor, what we need to do now is use, if you come into our neutron irradiator, use neutron fluid to make energized glowstone. So we're going to combine destabilized redstone with neutron fluid to make half a bucket of energized glowstone and 100 millibuckets of molten potassium hydroxide. Not sure if that has any use, so we're probably going to avoid it. But then to make the neutron fluid from the fusion reactor, you have 3 pages of recipes. So these are all the different combinations of fuels and outputs you get, and we need the one that has 2 neutron fluids, because you only get, as you can see, 5 millibuckets per a lot of this stuff. So tritium and hydrogen gas we don't have. We could use deuterium, but deuterium only is made from electrolyzers and water, and since we're going to need 2,000 millibuckets of it, and we can only make 50 millibuckets per operation, that would not really be the best. There's probably a better way to make deuterium. So we need something that we already have in abundance, and if you take a look, I already scouted out, we can use molten lithium 7 or molten boron 11 to do this. Now I think the issue is that for the boron 11, the base combo lifetime is 55 seconds, with a base max power of 5 RF per tick, but the optimal temperature is extremely high, whereas molten lithium is a lot lower. So we're going to use molten lithium to power the fusion reactor and generate 20 millibuckets of neutron fluid every cycle. So to make our molten lithium 7, we're going to need a melter or a centrifuge. Okay, so we're going to need both. We're going to need a melter to, wait, what do we actually need? Melter, molten lithium, lithium 7, centrifuge. Okay, so we're going to need a melter to make molten lithium. Then we're going to have to put it in a centrifuge to separate it into molten lithium 7 and molten lithium 6. Then we're going to extract the molten lithium 7 and use that to run our fusion reactor. Now there is one that takes molten lithium 6 and 7, but it produces less neutron fluid than this one. I wonder what the case with that is. Because it's even harder to run. I guess you're not wasting lithium 6 in that case, which is kind of better. But since we have access to literally infinite amounts of lithium, it's not really a problem. So let's leave here and make ourselves a melter. I don't know why I searched for it. Melter. See, hopefully I have everything. Perfect. Melter, we're going to need some more advanced plating. I don't remember making more ferroboron, so we might run out of that at some point. And machine chassis. Melter for the lithium. Then we're going to need a isotope separator, because we have the lithium. Then we need the isotope separator. Isotope separator. It's this one, right? Molten lithium. No, how do we make it? So you take lithium dust, put it in a melter to make molten lithium. Molten lithium will then go into the centrifuge. Centrifuge. So 4 more advanced plating. 2 of these guys. As you can see, I made a ton of copper solenoids just so I could stop making them. Machine chassis. And another servo mechanism. Then we're going to need craft a centrifuge. Shaken, not stirred. Let's see. I used all of our... Oh, we have a couple signalum left over. I used all of the ender ones already. So we come in here. Let's see. Power's on this side. So we'll just connect this resonant flux ducts here, like so. Melter and centrifuge. Put the lithium dust in here. That's going to melt pretty slowly, so we're going to have to get some speed upgrades. And then we need a leadstone flux duct, hardened fluid duct, I mean, and some servos. Like so. So now this is going to pump out the molten lithium into the centrifuge and make the lithium 7 and lithium 6, and then we're going to have to pump that out into here. Now it is molten, so I'm going to need some more of these hardened fluid ducts. Hardened fluid duct. I think 6 is enough. I think it's working. Yep. And then we're going to have to pipe it into this guy. Like so. And let's see. So this is going to make molten lithium. Molten lithium. So this top right is the 6, which we don't want. We want lithium 7. So we're going to come out over here, and we're going to void the excess and disable all the outputs. And this one we're going to output from the top, from the front. Grab our servo, turn that on, and let's fill this up with speed upgrades. Upgrade. Speed upgrades. Oh, we're going to need to craft these guys. Weighted plates. Some more weighted plates. We might run out of speed upgrades. I'll do half and half. Yeah, we're all out of the crushed nether quartz. So let me grab 2, 3, 4 to make a full stack. Oh, we do have more of that in there though. Manufactories. I should really, that's something I should have set up earlier, but I did not think of it. They're gonna take a ton of power. I was wondering why my radiation was so high. But I think it'll be fine for now. Okay, we can make a bit of these. So we'll do 32 and 8 for now. Oh, it's running. At least it's supposed to be running. Let's see, molten lithium is in here. That went out. Molten lithium is inside. Let's see, for some reason I can't get it to stay hot enough, and I'm not sure why, because it's fully powered. Maybe it needs more lithium. So let's go ahead and put 8 in here. That's going to skyrocket the power, but that's going to be fine. Put that in there. Let's see, maybe if I feed it more molten lithium, it'll run. Because now the molten lithium 7 is increasing. Although we do need 2 tanks. How do I get it in the second tank? If I just hook up a second one, will that work? Let's see. Void leftover fluid, void output fluid, efficiency heat, prevent input overflow. No. So do I just have to fill both of these up? Because I'm not actually sure how to get it. And you can see now it's starting to fluctuate. Like, it has to reach 8,000 heat to turn on, but then I can't actually get it to stay that hot. Which I'm not sure why, or how, what I'm supposed to do there. So let's grab some more lithium. Some more of this, so we can make some more of our energy upgrades. So we can stop it from being such a power hog. Okay, that's filling. Maybe once both of these are full of molten lithium, it will be able to stay on. And then apparently it does generate power, so it can kind of like feed itself. But I've never actually used this before, so I'm not sure how it actually works. Yeah, molten lithium 7 should both go in there. Or maybe if I just do molten lithium 6 as well, it won't be as efficient, but it will run. Yeah, 6 and 7. You get 5 and 5. But if you use this one, 16,611, 14,553. So the temperature difference isn't that great. I think we might just have to do the molten lithium 6 and 7 version. Because it'll be cheaper in the long run. So if we go ahead and output this from the front. Okay, that's going to start draining both. Oh, there we go. Now the temperature is rising. Okay, there we go. So that was the issue. If it doesn't have any fuel, then it won't actually continue to heat up. Now I wonder if this will explode. Not actually sure about that. Now let's see. So now that we have molten lithium 6 and 7, it takes 600 ticks, and the optimal temperature is 13,732 million Kelvin. I think, or it means 1,000 Kelvin, I'm not sure. That's going to start generating helium gas and neutron fluid. So we're going to need some kind of output. Yep, there we go. Helium gas and neutron fluid. So we're going to need some way to store this stuff. So let's go ahead and make 2 portable tanks. And some upgrades. Actually, do we need the helium for anything? I mean, wait, is it helium or hydrogen? Helium. helium. I believe you can use it for coolers. Yeah, you can put 8,000 millibuckets of helium gas in a supercooler to make liquid helium, and then you can use that liquid helium to make a liquid helium cooler, or super cold ice. Or you can pump it into an active fluid cooler. Let's see, what does this say? Pump coolant into this block to cool down fission and fusion reactors. Must be placed in a fission structure or on the diagonal of a fusion ring. If used to cool a fission reactor, the requirements for each fluid type are the same as a passive, but active coolers cannot be used to support other stuff. If you use it to cool a fusion reactor, it's much more efficient for a cooler to have a partner on the exact opposite side of the entire ring. So it might make sense to actually do that, but we do just need the neutron fluid, so we're going to start pulling that out. Temperature is very high, but how much of an issue is going to be cooling? That's a good question. It didn't say anything about cooling. Just make it. Maybe it's not an issue. Or maybe I'm going to come back here and this thing will have exploded. Anyways, let's grab some more lithium. And let's see, let's also grab a hopper. Hopper, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to need to upgrade. Actually, we produce so little, we don't need to upgrade the tanks, but I am going to need some more fluid ducts, I think. Fluid duct. And I believe another servo or so. I have a filter, I guess. Oh wait, no, I don't have to do either. You could just come in here. Hopper. There. Lithium. Cook some more lithium to feed this guy. So we need to get all of the helium gas out, so if we put a fluid duct here, and a portable tank, and a bucket, I always forget the basics. Bucket. Now we can set this to pull liquid helium. Then we come in here and we're going to whitelist helium gas. So now this should only pull out helium gas, and looks like that filled up completely. The neutron fluid is still inside, so we're going to have to upgrade this guy. Or are we just going to vent it? How much do I care about proper storage? Anyways, then we'll put another one over here with our other tank. And for this one, we're going to need another servo. Hopefully I still have some signalum left over. Well, it is very light. I don't even think we'll need signalum. Yeah, 50%. There's so little coming out, we could probably just get away with using a basic servo. Grab another bucket. And we're all out of buckets. Grab our iron, make a new bucket. And extract. That's full of helium, which is not what we want. So let me make some upgrades so we can make these bigger. Let's see, bronze gear, hardened, silver gear, reinforced. Oh, we're at hardened glass. Lead grit and pulverized obsidian in here. Oh, I already had some. Nice. Let's make that. Take off you. Wait, how did the neutron fluid do that? Huh. Okay, well then in that case, if I do this, that should... Perfect. So now that's filling up with neutron fluid. This one is filling with our helium gas. Molten lithium-7 is full, which means this is actually not that good. The reason that's not good is now that if molten lithium-7 is full, this is not going to pump. Yeah, the molten lithium-6 is going to get stuck in the pipe. Which means I have to come over here. We're going to set you to output on the right, and let's set up another fluid duct on this side. Fluid duct. Hardened. And a basic servo should work for this, because we're not pulling out a ton at any time. Oh, that's not good. There we go. Is there something in here? I think there is. I should have used the corners. Neutron fluid. Okay, so it's not... The neutron fluid is still in here. Not in there. Okay, so we can break this guy. To install this, move you. Like so. Now, set that to pull. There we go. Now the lithium-6 is pulling out and filling here. So let's move you. Fluid duct here and here. Helium gas bucket. Servo. Whitelist. Wait, if we blacklist helium and then put this tank on top, did not mean to put that there. Then the neutron fluid should start to drain, right? Because we blacklisted helium gas, so only neutron fluid should go inside. So now if we take this tank, be over here, this servo, and whitelist helium gas, it works. Perfect. It is a bit odd how it has to drain the top tank before it can drain the bottom tank. Let's see, now we're overfilling with molten lithium-7 because we can't make enough molten lithium-6. But these are both going to fill up. Now we can see the efficiency is at 0%. It's going to take quite a long time before the temperature rises high enough to increase the efficiency, which is why we're producing so little stuff right now. I wonder at what point it generates a lot of power, because it's only generating 4 RF per tick, but now we have our neutron fluid. And now that we have neutron fluid, we can finally use this in the neutron irradiator with the destabilized redstone to make energized glowstone. Luckily, we only need 10 millibuckets of neutron fluid to make half a bucket of energized glowstone, which is pretty cheap. So to make destabilized redstone, we have a couple of ways to do it, and I think we're going to use the melter, because I can slap a ton of upgrades in this to make it run a lot faster. So we're going to need another melter, which hopefully I have the resources. I'm so happy I made so many nether bricks in advance. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, we're all out of tough alloy. Gonna have to make more of that. 1 melter. Let's grab some redstone blocks. Let's grab a stack. Should be enough to last for as long as we need it to. And we have a couple more flux ducts. So here's our neutron fluid. So we're going to pipe that into this guy here. Wait, No, I need to pipe you. You can go right here. Redstone. So this is going to make the destabilized redstone. Then we have to combine it with the neutron fluid. Energized glowstone in the neutron irradiator, which we already made in a previous episode. And then that shouldn't be hot, so I think we can just use fluid ducts for these. And then destabilized redstone isn't hot, I don't think. So if we just put this guy... I need to move you. You go over here. And then we'll put this one over there. That goes in there. Fluid duct. Like so. Grab some more fluid ducts. Place that over here. So you need to output, we're going to need some more servos, one for here, one there, but then that should combine and make our energized glowstone. Servo. Servo here. Servo there. Servo here. Okay, neutron fluid went in. We're going to need to slap some upgrades in here. Actually, a block of redstone in here makes 900 millibuckets of destabilized. Oh, but we need... Wait, what? Why does that make a block of redstone? Yep, there it goes. We need 1 bucket of destabilized redstone. We're all out of lithium, too. Dang, this thing eats lithium like crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Luckily we have a huge backlog, but we're actually going to run out of lithium. Hopefully not before I finish using it. Upgrade. Weighted pressure plate. Need more obsidian. Of course we do. That's something I should have had auto going, but I didn't think about it. Okay, at least making the obsidian pulverized is really fast. Way faster than the other stuff. Okay, we'll make 16. Should be good. I'm not too concerned about power efficiency now that we generate so much power. So I can afford to be a little bit inefficient. Okay, 10,000, that's a little much. Yeah, this is a good speed. 21,000? Okay, that's a little too much. Okay, that's okay. And this runs at a good enough speed, so we'll just leave 8 in there. And now we're making energized glowstone and molten potassium hydroxide. So we're just going to vent the molten potassium hydroxide, because I have no idea what we're going to use that for. But now we have energized glowstone, which is what we wanted the whole time. So how do we get this out and make it? So it wants us to make an energized glowstone bucket, which will take a fluid transposer. Easy enough. Fluid transposer. Fluid transposer. Tin gear, 2 copper gears. Redstone circuit. Machine frame. This guy. Let's make some buckets. Come back in here. Now if we hook up our fluid transposer right here, disconnect this line, I don't want that connected there. We're going to have the input be on the right side. Put our buckets, grab our fluid duct, set this output to be the top, and I think we have one more servo. No, that's a filter. And for this one, we're going to need it to be a little bit better, so we'll make a reinforced servo. Slap it on here. Turn it on. And now we're making energized glowstone buckets. Quest completed. Got a little scared that it was taking so long. And now we can combine that with cryoethium to make glowstone dust. Let's grab this. We could probably slap some speed upgrades, make that go a little faster, but we're generating a ton of energized glowstone, which is cool. And hopefully this guy never explodes. I'm not going to think about it though. Energized glowstone, that goes in here. Blizz powder. No, it was cryoethium. Cryoethium dust. Let's make a stack. Cryoethium dust, and make glowstone. I thought I put the other glowstone here. Why didn't it fill in? Oh, because this turns into a bucket, that's why. I bet if I just store it as the liquid, that would work. Yeah, energized glowstone bucket. I'd have to try that out. But now we have glowstone, which means I could finally make a phytogenic insulator. Because for that we needed lumium gears, which required lumium blend, which required a bucket of energized glowstone. Which means, and this is my favorite part, we can grow trees without needing to use the complicated method. Now, I've never actually built this machine before, so I'm not sure if it actually requires phytogrow to function. But I guess I'll have to figure that out. But now that we have glowstone, we can go to the end is nigh. Get it? Eh? So to make end stone, we must take a bucket of lava, put it in a stone barrel, and add glowstone dust. So let's make a stone barrel. Stone barrel. We're out of stone. Luckily we got tons of cobblestone. Graphite ingots from when I was working on the reactor. And I can upgrade these furnaces as well to the next tiers now. Because I should be able to make the upgrade. You needed lumium for these ones, right? Yeah. So now I can make the resonant upgrades. Stone slab. Stone barrel. And we're going to need some lava. So, where did I leave? It's in here, right? Yes. That's going to push it in there. Unless... Are you still running? Looks like it. So I was able to solve one of... It's funny, I say solve. The bug isn't solved. The bug still exists. But the bug was, oh, if he runs out of obsidian, he breaks. But he'll never run out of obsidian, because we have a block of californium always producing lava. So actually, if I just put you right here, yes, this will fill with lava next. Then we could just take the glowstone dust and make endstone. So it does kind of work. And you can see this produces lava extremely fast. If I slow this down, yeah, because this is also taking lava to make obsidian. But how much of this endstone are we going to need? So now we have endstone, and that's going to stop us for there. We're going to director logic, which means we have two other tasks we need to complete. One is making an ender integrated sapling, which is taking an oak sapling and dumping it in resident ender. So let's convert the rest of this glowstone dust. So I'll have 12, which for any craft, I'm guessing that should be enough. Grab some ender pearls and a sapling. Then if we come back into IE machines, throw that in here, that's going to melt it down. Put it in there. So we're going to need a bucket to take out the ender. Then if we just pour it on the ground, we get a mineral sapling. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys. So I was able to automate steel production. It was pretty much just making a blast furnace, so that was pretty easy. And then I just void all the slag in a nullifier, so I never have to worry about the slag building up. And then the steel just gets put into a chest and sucked into the system. Which is how I managed to do a lot of our stuff. Just throw it into a chest. The best example of that, I think it's right here. Yeah, this this room is terrible, but if you come inside. So I built that loop. So this electrolyzer makes the oxygen, which goes into the fluid infuser, combines it with the blizz powder to make our blizz rods. Then the pulverizer turns it back into blizz powder in a loop, and it sends one in here and one out, along with the snowballs. I put 5 of the plants in these guys, and then to avoid making a bunch of importers, I just stuck everything into this chest and threw an importer on here. So all of these feed into one chest that gets sucked into the system. And that's how I'm generating a bunch of our resources. And funny enough, I managed to build out the entire... The reason we're getting so much power is because I rebuilt this entire system. I put all of these guys into bigger reactors. Now that we had cryoethium, making cryoethium coolers meant I can make bigger reactors cool a lot more efficiently. But as I built this, I realized this was entirely unnecessary. And the reason it's unnecessary is because if you come back in here, it should be over here, I automated the production of LEU-235 oxide fuel. But if you look in this chest, it's completely full of LEU-235 fuel. We produce so much uranium, I could have just ran it on LEU-235 and it wouldn't have made a difference. Like you can see uranium falls and then grows because we mine and produce so much of it. So really, I could have just made one big like 7x7 reactor, and that should have been enough to produce like 30,000 Fe per tick. Anyways, so now that we have our mineral sapling, enough of a tangent there. Oh, for the director logic we need diamonds, which means we finally need to make the maximum compact machine. So, if you were a very astute observer, you would have noticed I already made the glitched machines because I didn't want to waste time like using a video to make them. So, now that we have these, we need to combine them in the multi-block with 20 compact machine walls, a machine casing, and the ender pearl. So I don't know if we have any machine casing in here. We have one with some compact machine walls, so we're gonna need some iron block and redstone. I think that's everything. Then we need to come in here. Where is the robot? Turn off. Because we need to build this. How do I build this one again? It was... we need those two. That, this... there we go. perfect. Let's make a bit more. And if you're wondering why I had this little opening in the center, that's fine. Why I had the opening in the center, it was actually part of making the robot work better, because how I programmed him is when he goes to place this block, he goes up above it and places below. But if he runs out of obsidian and there's no obsidian on the bottom layer, when he goes to place the redstone block, he can't actually place anything because there's a hole here. Which is why I did it like that. Okay, so now we have our compact machine walls. Oh, I didn't grab an ender pearl. So it should be, it's 6 in one of these. So if we take a look here. That doesn't help. But I think it's showing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and in the middle it's the casing. So it should be like this. Casing. Like that. Then throw this in to make the maximum size compact machine. And with this, we'll be able to fully make diamonds. Sure is taking its sweet time though. I mean, it is really dense, so it's going to take a lot longer to miniaturize. But of course that means I'm going to have to make a lot more little diamond nuggets, because I use them all making our refined storage. Because it's such a pain making it. Gotta take all the graphite, turn it into hop graphite ingots, and they have to blow the ingots up. But now we have access to the biggest room, which means we can build that multi-block to compress them into actual diamonds. Maximum overdrive. And that also unlocks the chicken thing as well, but the main one we wanted is the high impact compactor. 56 squeezes pretty hard. All of the electromagnets need to be powered continuously for the multi-block to be valid. Each requires 1000 RF per tick. The unpowered version can't craft anything, but this will surely help you build. By the way, the pipes don't show, so make sure to check which go where. My god. Wait, why does it need tritium lamps? Can't I only get tritium? Okay, we can make tritium from neutron fluid. Okay, I was gonna say, if we had to make tritium, that would have been really annoying. So we can make it from molten boron, but that's quite annoying. So I need to make tritium. We need a machine controller. Machine controller. Like so. Throw that in there. Controller. Let's see, this has to go in here. And we're going to need power. So we'll have to power it. This is going to be a good spot for it then. That way it's connected to the cryostabilized flux duct. Let's see, 108 transparent fission. This is going to eat all of my ferroboron. Fission reactor glass. Yeah, because we need tough alloy. Okay, at least the lead and stuff is easy, because we could just pull graphite out of here to make stacks of this. Yeah, literally stacks of basic plating. Glass and tough alloy. So we're going to need a ton of glass alloy. Luckily, oh, but that's going to take lithium too. Let's see, ferroboron was steel and boron. Boron ingots, where's my steel? So we can make a ton of this. That'll produce 2 stacks. How much do we need? We needed 108. So I think we should have enough to make everything. I just didn't realize it was that expensive. I guess looking at the picture, I thought it was like regular glass and stuff like that, so I didn't think it was going to be this expensive to craft. Okay, then we have to take that ferroboron and combine it with lithium. What makes this annoying is that boron and lithium are pretty rare to get because I can make steel, but I didn't automate steel pickaxes. So lithium and boron and the other stuff that come from steel pickaxes, I haven't been producing in quantities as much as the iron and stone pickaxes. I made a couple hard carbon pickaxes to get extra, but those broke pretty fast because I'm using them all the time. But that means we can definitely run out of lithium, especially since I also now need lithium. Oh, 2, 3, 4 to run the fusion reactor, which, are you still on? Yes, molten lithium 6. And this guy's full of molten lithium 7. Which is what I was afraid of. But it is still running. Efficiency is climbing a little bit. You're empty. Why are you empty? Oh, because this guy ran out of redstone. That's fine. Because I'll have to make some tritium later. Let's see. 4 stacks of tough alloy should be enough. Fission. Reactor casing. Oh, we're definitely going to need glass, though. Yeah, only 42 glass. So I can make glass by taking cobblestone and throwing it into this guy. Yeah, make sand. Perfect. Then we can just cook the sand. And that should get us everything we need for the sand. So a single stack of cobblestone makes us that, which is about 16. And I threw the sand in there. That's not where I wanted to throw it. Sand. And we're going to need 108. And we're out of sand. Luckily, that's all we're out of, and that's 44. So we're going to craft all this stuff. 64. Does it keep tally? We're at 76, so we need 2 plus 30. We need 32. You have upgrades? They do. They're still pretty slow. I think that's it. 32. Perfect. Now we need 13 cryostabilized flux ducts. I got 17 in reserves. 8 super laminar fluid ducts. Okay, at least those are pretty easy. Super laminar fluid ducts. How many do we need? I already forgot. 8. More hardened glass. Might as well make that one all the time as well. Okay. 8 super laminar fluid ducts. 8 impulse item ducts. Impulse item duct. Why are there so many? Vacuum dense impulse item duct. Impulse item duct. Dense. I just want a regular item duct. So we need these guys. Why is it? Oh. So an impulse item duct is just a regular item duct filled with glowstone. So we need 8 of these. Let's come in here to our fluid transposer. Luckily we already had the glowstone, so we just need to make 8 of these. That's going to be that step done, and then I guess the last thing we'll have to make is the tritium lamps, which is going to be the hardest. Oh, that's going to make extra. Items travel more rapidly. Don't think I'll use those in my day-to-day. We need a tiny item output and tiny item input. Tiny item output and input. It's going to take some more of these guys. It's going to take some hoppers. Okay. We need 1 ultimate energy input hatch. Which is going to take slime balls. Ah, so they've tricked me. They had me believe we could craft everything right now, but that was not the case. Because to get slime balls, we have to go this way. Which means we're going to have to put this on hold, and next episode, create some life. Fermented slime milk. So I'm guessing we make chickens to make chicken eggs, and then use the eggs to make a cow, use the cow to get milk, use the milk to get slime, somehow turn slime into emerald, and then we can come back and finish the high impact compactor. Terrible. Had me thinking we could all get it done in one episode. Put all of that away. Let's see, the mineral sapling, we're definitely going to need this just to grow mineral wood. So I might set up this photogenic insulator just to grow it. Could be the case. Let's see, what is this going to start taking? Spawn a chicken. If you make a large puppet and really squeeze it, it might come alive. Who'd have thought? We're going to need a bunch of wool of different colors, which is not too difficult. Takes a 5x5. Oh, this is why we need the big room. That means we can end the episode by making a chicken. So we're going to have to steal these guys. Gonna have to make more of these, I guess. They're not that expensive, especially now that I can make more diamond nuggets pretty easily. It's just the craft for diamond nuggets is really annoying. Come in here. So now if we come 1, 2, 3 over here, there, and here, the 5x5 multi-block crafting. Now we're going to need a bunch of wool. Luckily, we've been producing hemp fiber in massive quantities. One stack. How much do we need though? 64 plus 10. Do, do, do. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 64 white, we need 2 black, which comes from pulverized charcoal and water. I remember I made that before. Pulverized charcoal and water. Actually, we might have some chilling somewhere. Guess not. So where did I leave? Where can we get water? I think in here. Yes. So throw you on the floor. We're going to need how much? We need 2 black, 6 orange, 2 red. 2 black. Beetroot can be made into dye for the red. 2 red. Oh, I threw the wool inside. And then we need orange, which is red and yellow. Where do we get yellow? Yellow comes from... There was a different way to get it. It was from sulfur. Sulfur. You take this stuff. I don't want that much. Like 16. You take this sulfur, get the water, you throw it in the water to make yellow dye. Huh? I thought I made 16. Why do I only have 14? Anyways. Wool. 1, 2. Then we needed 6 yellow, right? We need 6 orange. It's fine. It's fine. Orange. We could just make some more. It's no problem. Okay, that's everything we need for the chicken. Oh, there it is. Right over there. So now we come in here and we build him new life. And then it'll lay eggs, which should hatch in time for the next episode when I get to making it. So we just have to build it like so. So the back is all white. That's not what I wanted to do. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna need to grab another white wool. And build the chicken. See, so it's, the base is 5 by 3. 2, 3. Like so. Wish I could turn this faster. 5 by 3 with 2 red here. Like that. Then you want to build a beak out of 6 orange. Then fill this with white. Where's the eye go? They go in these corners here, adjacent here. So one eye goes here, the other eye goes there. Then use up all the rest of the white. And we're missing some. How are we missing some? Oh, because I wasted some. But then it's like that, the final layer is on top. I should really get some scaffolding. Grab some more white wool. Silly me. I forgot to reset our spawn point. Let's go into the corner here. Finish his head. Should still have my axe on me. There it is. Now, with a single ender pearl, we can birth new life. It didn't work. Why aren't you working? Spawn chicken. Item 6426. What's the problem? I built it to spec. Is there something I'm doing wrong? Maybe if I go up, throw it at the top. No. No. Why aren't you working? Why aren't you crafting? What did I do wrong? It's a 5x5x5. 2 red, beak, black wool. This should be it. So why aren't you crafting? I don't get it. This should work. Why are you glitching out like that, though? Huh. This is very odd. Is it because of this? No, that shouldn't be the case. But it doesn't make any sense why it's not working. Chicken. Yeah, spawn chicken, 64. The inside is hollow. That's why I ran out of wool. So if we hollow out the inside... Yeah, that was too much. Okay, we've lobotomized the chicken. They have no thoughts. Now if we do it, it works. That was the key all along. Chickens have no internal monologue. So by removing the wool inside, we cleared up more space to make the spawn chicken egg. Quest completed. Who's chicken? Spawn a chicken. Now where can I leave him? In here, because this guy will always suck up the eggs. Huzzah. Welcome to the world, buddy. This is your entire world. Get used to it. But anyways, I'm your host, Hamas28, and I'll see you guys next time.